Well, I managed to track back down the zombie expert. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So I managed to track down our zombie expert out here, and they have been having a pretty interesting run with this deck, which means we get to talk about Pumpkin and the madness that comes with it yet again. So Hubble here is actually, I think, one of the most important pieces to this, because it's a free mill down of a zombie, and then of course we do also open up the Foolish Burial here. You also have some all charming access to kind of make this deck a little bit more stronger off than it actually is. So let's see how things are going to pan out for us here. We do get to start off with Hobalt, which gets to mill down the Pumpkin, which automatically gets to, see itself come on back, because then, it's a free mill down ad, which now gets us access into Call the Haunted off of this by sending itself. Now we get to go ahead and deploy Call the Haunted, which will go ahead and start our combo here. They're going to go ahead and see a Maxi here, which is fine. We have Droll and Lockbird to stop. We'll go ahead and see some adding here. All right, they're going to go ahead and bounce back the Call the Haunted. Interesting. We're going to also see a mill down here of a Spell Canceller. Well, that's pretty interesting. We'll go ahead and see the Call of the Forgotten coming down, and then we're just going to go ahead and see the set. Interesting that they chose to hold the Droll here and just end on the Great Pumpkin itself. But this card also is going to go about 9,000 miles here for us. So go ahead and see some adding here. We're going to go ahead and see Phantom Knights kicking things off here. They're going to go ahead, chain up the trap card to special. They'll go ahead and make the break sword here. We're going to go ahead and call the Haunted back the Pumpkin. All right, which will go ahead and we will see the trigger send. We're going to go ahead and see a droplet negating our two cards, which is a little bit inconvenient, but that's fine. He's going to go ahead and send. All right, we'll go ahead and see the Droll and Lockbird here. King Sark, we're going to go ahead and special summon up the Spell Canceller here. The fact that this deck is in-house playing Spell Canceller is hilarious, but this will now take care of this and this problem. There will be an Imseti popping back here, which is going to be a problem, but I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. The Phantom Knights sending on down here. Go ahead and see the Imperm targeting that, which is actually not too terrible. They're going to go ahead and make the Dahark. Interesting choice. Go ahead and mill down so they can keep up with the Phantom Knight combo here. Keep on extending. See the Fogblade being dropped here, and then the extra extension. We'll go ahead and see a Leviair coming on back, getting the revive up. We'll go ahead and Rusty Tin Can mill down, getting a Fogblade. I'm going battle phase, attack over that. We'll go ahead and see our losses here, and then we see a Zeus being made. Well, I don't know if we necessarily beat that. Call the Haunted here. We'll go ahead and call the Forgotten. Interesting. We'll go ahead and see the Zeus equalize the field here. All right, but the damage has already been done. We've already got Hubalt here, which will go ahead and get a recursion back. We got to call the Haunted, and then we just go ahead and Pumpkin it on up here. All right, now we have two Call the Haunteds back. We get to call the Haunted back our Pumpkin. We'll go ahead and see the chaining up here. Get to go ahead and make Samiel here, and then we're just going to keep on going to town here. We'll call the Living Dead coming back. Fortification. All right, we'll go ahead and see Samuel reviving. Now we can go battle phase, make the Wollo. Oh, that's pretty big. Do the detach to kick out the good cards. All right, which forces that. This Zeus is just doing nothing. We're going to go ahead and see the Undying Legion being made here. Nice Dominus Spark. We're going to go ahead and Undying Legion. Samuel will go ahead and trigger up here as well. See the Pumpkin coming back. We got some pretty big stat lines here. All right, we'll go ahead and see the Pumpkin. We see the Concession. Wow, this deck is actually pretty good in watching the right hands kind of do its thing. I see also post-side decking Goemon now comes in here to help us out. So Phantom Knights are going to go ahead and do Phantom Knight things, going ahead and getting us the essential start-off combo with Cherubini. The fact that, we're rank 3 Turbo Express the deck just means that we're going to go ahead and get set up so much easier here. Phantom Knights continuing the extension, Leviair coming on down here. Getting the pullback, go ahead and make Rusty Tin Can. All right, go ahead and get the Fogblade into rotation. Go ahead and see Imseti pitching. Anytime that I can see Deception plus King Sark, I'm just going to feel like the best absolute Yu-Gi-Oh player I could ever actually hope to be. Because this just is going to turn into an absolute train wreck. We have the Diabell Star now in rotation to free extend on down to. Here comes the Magician. We're going to go ahead and get the Glizzy of Timaeus. All right, tuck on back, get our spell card back, Deception. Hollowed, go ahead and send to make Ilya Sylvia. Go ahead and spin down to drop the wings. Go ahead and get the revive here. We'll go ahead and see the rank 3. Go ahead and special summon one more out. Continue on with combo. Go ahead and get the trap card, which will extend us one more time. Alright, we'll go ahead and make the Unchained and pass. So Deception gets to come on back here. So we're effectively ending on Ash, Unchained Pop, Rusty, Malevolent, and Ilya Sylvia, this is breakable, because we have Goemon. Oh, we're going to go ahead and get Ashed here. That's interesting. Alright, Pumpkin's going to go ahead and extend on down. Why? Okay, they held that Goemon a little bit longer than they should have. Because now, you knew you had the Glizzy to come deal with this. Had you extended this, you would have had the hand trap protection, but I think they could have played that a little bit better, per se. But we hard open. This deck is 41 cards. They hard open the Spell Canceller. Isn't that just crazy? I see we have some Shaddoll side decking fun here coming on in here. So we're going to go ahead and Delta Invitation, mill down Eldritch the Golden Turd. Alright, go ahead and mill down. So for those of you that don't know, this is the Officiator Reviere. So if this card is in hand, discard one other card, special summon this card. When Exceed monster sends the graveyard while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon a zombie from the graveyard. And during the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished, you target a zombie Exceed monster you control, attach this banished card to it. Definitely cool. But now you're going to get to go ahead and watch Eldritch Shenanigans with Delta of Temptation, which just generates some free advantage. Plus now we get to see Mary rotating through here and helping us up. Mary getting to revive the Eldritch, getting us a Varudras. Go ahead and send that to special summon. Now we get to make the Pumpkin here, which now we have access in the Spell Canceller, which just is auto going to shut off our opponent for trying to do anything, dangerous here. Undying Legion. Go ahead and get our Call of the Haunteds into rotation. Set the last call. I mean, this is Shaddoll Fusion, Chain, Droplet, Chain. Alright, so we'll go ahead and see the negates on that. Spell Canceller goes ahead and revives and negates, and then we see the concession. Yeah, Spell Canceller. This is techie. I like that. I like that for whatever reason, this just having access to this card in this deck is pretty cool. Now we're going to pass on over so we can take a look at this deck list. This is the easy adjustment down to 40 cards I've ever seen in my life. Hey, want to see a magic trick? We just cut out the maxi. Congratulations, your deck is now at 40 cards. This list is very interesting. I like that they've been using... This is not my first time running into them. Their Pumpkin stuff actually allows this deck to kind of continue to extend on through some of the play lines, which is kind of nice. But there's also the topic of conversation here that they have the built-in Spell Canceller in the deck, giving this deck some massive broken control options just to be able to put, infinite spell negates on the field. And obviously, as long as you can get this thing down, you can usually do very well with that, which, I mean, is kind of interesting to think about. I'll see we're playing the Vortex of Time here. We also have the Delta of Temptation in the list. We're also only playing one Call of the Forgotten. We also have Dominuses within the list. But one other cool tech choice that they're actually playing is they're playing the Mind Mirror Force here, which just kind of allows you to kind of have some counterplay against the opponent here, depending on, what they might actually have. And then, of course, Triple Call the Haunted. You also do see here Linkuriboh, the Flying Mary, and the rest of the squadron of stuff. Also having Samuel and all of this also really helps out. But also, the Mercurium, the Living Quicksilver, also gives you free access to anything, depending on how this deck kind of opens up. You can spin into the Mercurium to get down the Spell Canceller to at least get this up and running. So this will probably be a consistent piece of the deck strategy kind of going forward, which is actually kind of cool. Now, across the table here, we also had this pile. Once again, easy choice here. Kick that on out. Congratulations. Maybe navigate back in a Droll Lockbird. This deck plays a little bit more extensive of the package here. Actually, you see the Diabellstar being a 2 of in the list, which I think is fine. They're more dedicated to the heavy side of the Phantom Knight stuff, which is fine. We do get to see Droll Lockbird here. And then, of course, Gaze of Timaeus with Hollowed Azamina, definitely giving the deck a little bit more push. And then, of course, the Dominus is really kind of coming together for this. But also, you're doing the standard shenanigans. This is able to rotate into this. You're not playing the Ophion, probably side decking it just to be a little bit more safe in terms of the end board presence. But, also getting access to Gaze of Timaeus off of Diabellstar. It does kind of help the deck's presence feel a little bit better in terms of its end board pushes, which is kind of interesting, honestly. I kind of like that. So what do you guys kind of think about these choices being made across some of these decks? I like them. They feel pretty innovative. creative. And I like that. So please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.